Hi guys. We have a very important message we have to share today. Mama was praying all week for us to have visions. Yes. Every day we went to sleep. Mama was praying, anything you want to show us, please show us so we can tell our people and warn everyone. And I had 2 visions today. But before I go into those visions, I was thinking about the details of my vision, and Jesus wanted Mama to release the part that he told her to hold in the vision that she's going to share right now.
Yes. It's when I was standing in front of the temple. When I was standing in front of the temple, I could see people milling about at the top of it. Little, small bodies going back and forth and whatnot. But inside, I knew that the devil was in there, seated on the throne, and that there was he was about to let out an attack, and it was like a flood was come bursting out of the top of the opening of the temple where he was at. Like a flood, a super huge, superhuman flood. And it was to go after the people who won't worship him. So Satan in the Antichrist body is sitting in the temple and proclaiming himself as God. And there are the people that recognize in that moment that this is not the Messiah. He is not God, and refuse to worship him. He sends this great flood out after. It burst out of the temple. I mean, I literally saw the waters whoosh come like, and they were pointed like swords coming out of the temple, and after the people, some of these people that he wanted to destroy. There's a scripture in the Bible about part of this, and it says, "And the serpent cast out of his mouth," and this is Revelation 12, verse 15 to 16. "And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth." Now, when it showed this flood coming out, and it looked like swords coming out of the temple, it just burst out. It looked so diabolical. And not to mention feeling the evil from deep within, coming from the devil himself. This, I could see little images of people running, running upwards, like towards up a mountain, and water trying to pursue after them. Even that part, I saw, and this was horrible. The force of it was so diabolical. It wasn't from a man. This was after the Antichrist died, and the devil gets in his body, and he goes and sits on the throne, proclaiming himself as God. The people in the temple, the reason why the water burst forth out of the temple is because he was going after the ones inside who said they were not going to worship him. He is not God. This isn't the Messiah. And then the water's going out after others as well. So I needed to make that known to you. It was diabolical. It was ominous. It was like evil was pouring out of the temple because he was in it.
Well, I can feel the heaviness of all of that.
And then everything else began, and you know that vision.
Yes. I'm going to go straight into my vision. I'm playing the part of a teenage girl with her family. Who's in the house with her? I know I have to go over her uncle, who's a woman that's supposed to be her older sister. A brother that's a little older than her, and they're in row homes right now, and they get the uncle is is in connection to like family friends with Trump, and also MBS directly. And he got the heads up that something big was getting ready to happen, like the end of the world. He didn't tell everybody else, but he told the family was used to being in contact with them, especially MBS. The teenage girl, she just moved back into the house. It was like she was a black sheep of the family. Like she was doing things she wasn't supposed to be doing, and now she was like, I'm going to change now. And her older brother, he was Christian, but he wasn't saved, not yet. This is like right before the rapture. So they get the call and they're like, yay, we're getting ready to go. Trump, I can hear him on the phone. It's really crazy. Telling the man, you're going to pass through Egypt and you're going to go to, where MBS is going to be hidden and separate from everyone else. You're going to love it there. And the crazy thing is I can see Trump and he looks like a beast. And his eyeballs have like these demonic blue drill looking symbols in his eyes, and he has a golden crown on his head, and he's huge, and he's on the phone, holding the phone, and the guy is so excited, he's telling his family, and they're like, well, we're going to be rich, and you can tell the weather is just like where the ice is starting to melt, and so they run outside, they're just rushing to the car, because they're saying right now, we already put the flight plan in, and everything. So, the family is running to their car. The brother, who's Christian, he has his own separate car. I can tell his car isn't as expensive as everyone else's. The uncle and the older sister, they get in that car. They said, we'll meet you guys at the airport. They just like left us. They were just like, we're in a rush. We have to get there right now. You already knew that we were going to be leaving, and we've got the call to go. So I was so excited as a teenager. I didn't have my shoes on. And I was like, oh, we're going to be rich. Ran down the stairs, slid on some ice, and I didn't fall, but and they were laughing at me. Like, oh, she's so excited. The sister kind of looked at her kind of out of like an enemy right there. But she was laughing at her. That, oh, you don't know what's coming, that type of look. And so the brother, he looked uneasy, and he was just like, why are we following these people? This doesn't seem right. So I get into the brother's car, and the brother is telling her again about Christianity, and she's listening, and she's like, I want to accept Jesus. I want to know more about him. And they're driving, and he's trying to hurry and follow his uncle and the sister. The sister is in the back seat of that car. So it just fast, all of a sudden we're on a plane. I could feel myself on the plane. Like, it was really crazy. It was like it was really happening, and it was so many people on the plane, and so many people we passed by before we got on the plane in line. They were just like leaving. Something was getting ready to happen, and these people must have gotten a heads up. And these people were people who had money, and everyone else kind of like didn't know what was going on. People who weren't were in a lower class. They were just like going to work. Like, they were being made to do overtime. Something was happening where they know you need to stay longer. Like, this is all in one day. And we had all our bags packed. We're on a plane, and I'm looking out the window. I'm next to my brother. We're in separate seats. So the brother is next to me on the left, and the uncle and the sister are in the front. This is like, I don't know, like a plane that just, they already paid for. The leaders paid for them already. I'm looking out the window, and I'm feeling something evil all of a sudden. And I'm like, I feel like we're passing over this land. It feels so evil. I was like, I feel like I'm being swallowed up. What in the world? Like, I felt scared all of a sudden. I look outside the window, and we're getting ready to land. And I can see these people. We were landing, and there's like about 5 men standing on this desert. And the desert just feels so wrong. Like, it's something really wrong. Like, it's moving. I could see like a dust storm that was just passing over, I guess, and it was going down. But these men were dressed up similar to MBS. They were standing there like guards.
That's how I found them.
Like that headgear. So I felt so uncomfortable, and I was like, are we supposed to be here? Like, this feels really dangerous. Like, I feel like I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I'm not allowed to be over here. And so it fast forwards to the sister. She's having a whole bunch of money. More money than they ever spent. The dad, he's staying close to MBS, and Trump was going to meet them at some point over there. But he's hanging around MBS like he's going to be his security guard, or, like he's being paid, and we're barely seeing him now. Now, I'm in line. We're going to a store, and we're in line, and the line is so long, but we're allowed to cut in the front and stuff, and I was just like, this is a shame, because these people have been standing in line for a long time, and it was really hot. Like we were sweating. They were waiting in line for water. And then all of a sudden there's a person comes down, the security guard sits down in a chair and laughing at these people. Like they're never going to go get ahead in the line, and never going to get what they want. And only certain people were allowed to get water. This sister, we had things packed inside the cart. And I don't see my brother at the moment, and I'm like, why did they separate us? Where's my brother at? And I'm just like feeling frustrated, and I'm in line, and I'm seeing people really, really like dehydrated. And I know that I just had water. I was allowed to have water. And we'd have a whole cart full of water. We got ours, and people are still waiting for theirs. And the sister, she looks across the line, and she's like, I'm going to get that TV right there. It's like, we don't even have electricity. Like, it was really weird for me to say that, but I said that. I was like, what are you going to plug that into? Like, the broadcast isn't working right now. And she said, oh, well, I just wanted to have it. Like, I want to show that I can just get this. Like, to make, like, these people don't have enough money. It was expensive television. So, and I was just, like, shaking my head, and I was like, I want to get out of this line. I just want to go back home. I didn't like where we were. And then, all of a sudden, okay, we're out of the line, and, something is changing immediately where they're telling them, we're out of the line. People are still on the line. They're telling them that they have to have a certain type of ID to get what they want all of a sudden. And I know that we already got that, which is really disturbing. I don't have it myself, but the sister does, and so does the dad. And I'm just like, something's so wrong. All of a sudden, we get back into the house, which is not even a house, like a mansion, like a temple or something. So we're in there, and I'm being made to be by myself a lot. And I hear some type of chaos break out, like explosions, and we're in a place like in like a bunker or something. So I'm overhearing this, and I know that they said there was a disappearance. Disappearances happened, many. And my brother was one of them. He was taken.
He was raptured.
He was raptured. I didn't really exactly know this, but I knew that he mentioned something about disappearance to me, and I knew that. And I was like, such a full-blown panic. And I was really emotional, and I was like, I'm by myself here with these evil people. What in the world? And then all of a sudden, the sister is calling me to come where she's at. I'm being led out into the desert, and all of a sudden there's a temple standing there that was covered up all this time. And I said, where did this temple come from? What in the world? I feel really frightened right now. Like, I feel like I was told something about it, that this is not good. And it was golden, and it was huge, and the door opens, and I go in there, and I see MBS sitting on a throne, and he looks full-blown possessed, like really terrifying, black eyeballs, arms on both of their arms. And the sister is literally cackling next to him, and she looks possessed, red eyeballs. She looked like she was like the Harlot and the Beast. And she said, and I can see that he's staring at me, and like he wants to kill me. And she's like, it's your turn, like to take the mark of the beast or something, right? And there's piles of bodies behind him, piles of them, of dead people, which I know that he must have killed. Like, I don't know what in the world, but I was so terrified, and I was like screaming, no, screaming no. And this starts to wake me up for a moment, and then I passed right back out into a whole different scene where I'm inside of a prison, and I'm not me anymore. Now I'm seeing like a movie type of view. I see a man. He's on top of his bunk bed, and he has something tied around his neck and something tied to the bunk bed, and he's getting ready to, destroy himself. And he's a young man. The prison guard or someone someone that was very close to him walks over and says, and he opens the gate he opens I can hear it go slam open. Like, you know, that the sound of it, of a prison door opening. I heard it. And he's looking at him and he's like, I'm done here. I don't want to be here anymore. So you can walk right out of here. And he started telling him about the Christian church area in the prison. Like, you need to go there, you know? And so, and this time right here, I know is in direct connection at the same time period that the woman got over there and there she's in line right before the rapture. I know it. So he literally gets saved in there. He gets saved by the blood of Jesus.
Amen.
So all of a sudden, this man, he goes to the man who was talking to him, the prison guard. He goes to the man's prison, and he already knew. You can hear a bunch of people in chaos, people yelling. He went to his prison, and it was empty. He wasn't there, and he had his paper and pen, and he said the disappearance. And then I woke up. Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah. That was a whole lot. And Jesus wanted us to go over what Mama wrote to the tribulation saints before we come off.
Yes. Yesterday, I felt it was like in the wee hours in the morning before, right when Caitlin and I were falling asleep. I said, we got to write this letter. We have to write this letter to leave with the medical kits and everything. Even though we have a letter right on the mirror, 2 letters exactly. But this one was specifically for them to when they open the box to know that these items were left deliberately for you. So I'm going to read it. To those left behind that found these items left for you, the rapture, being caught up to heaven by Jesus, has happened, and you are no longer in the church age, but are now in the tribulation, 7 years of the darkest days known to man. The Antichrist will try and force you to take the mark of the beast and worship him. You must refuse and say you worship the true and living God, Jesus Christ. They will kill you when you say this, and then you must die for your faith. It is the only way you can go to heaven is when they kill you for refusing to worship the beast, take his mark 666, and worship his image. I pray what food we left here, medical kits, medicine, and Bibles, and other items will help you. There will be a famine of Jesus' words, so share these King James Study Bibles, please. God bless you, and we are praying for you all from heaven.
Amen.
Amen.